Hello everyone. Today we will see examples based on load carrying capacity of sections by using Euler's formula. First numerical, a T section 100 by 100 by 10 mm is used as a stud having both ends fixed. Calculate Euler's load if modulus of elasticity is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square and length is equal to 2 meter. First of all, write given data. A T section 100 by 100 by 10 mm. So 100 by 100 by 10 mm, okay, is used as a stud having both ends fixed. So given condition, end condition of stud, both ends are fixed. L is equal to 2 meter, convert mm, multiply by 1000. Capital E is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5. Capital E is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. Find Euler's load. Euler's load is denoted by P. Firstly, divide the T section into two areas. Section number 1, this is the flange and this is the web of T section. Section number 1 is the flange and 2 is the web. The center gravity lies on y-axis. Center of gravity for two sections G1 and G2 lies on y-axis. Y is the centroidal axis. Okay. First of all, we have to calculate area A1 and area A2. A1 is the area of first section and A2 is the area of second section. So area of rectangle B into D. So 100 into 10 mm, then we get 1000 mm square. And area of second section, this is the total 100 mm minus 10, so then we get web of depth is the 90 into 10 mm. 90 into 10 is equal to 900 mm square. So this is the area calculation. Then calculate y1 and y2 bar. So how to calculate y1 and y2 bar? Y1 is the distance between center of gravity. Distance between center of gravity G1 from this base. This is the y1. G1 to this base. This is the y1. So total 100 minus 10 divided by 2. Then we get y1 is equal to 95 mm. Okay. And y2. Y2 is the distance between center of gravity from G2 to this base. This is the y2. Total distance, total depth of web is 90 mm. So 90 divided by 2 is equal to 45 mm. So this is the y1 and y2. Then calculate y bar. Y bar is the a1 y1 plus a2 y2 divided by a1 plus a2. Put the values of a1 y1 a2 y2 and a1 a2. Then we get y bar is equal to 71.31 mm. Okay. So this is the y bar of T section. Center of gravity from main G point to this base is the y bar. Okay. Then second step is calculate moment of inertia about x-axis. Calculate moment of inertia about x-axis by applying parallel axis theorem. This is the x-axis. See this figure. This is the T section having centroidal axis for first section is the x1 x1, and this is the G1 point. And second section, this is the G2 center of gravity. For second section is the G2, and this is the x2, and this is the main G point, center of gravity. So this is the x-axis, okay. And G1, G2 and G all center of gravity which are passing through y-axis. So H1 and H2 is 0 and x bar is 0, okay. So H1 for Ix, this is the centroidal axis, xx is parallel to x1 and is parallel to x2. So how to calculate H1 and H2? First of all, we will see y1, y bar and y2 bar. y1 is the, for section first, y1 is the distance between G1 to this base, this is y1 bar. Y bar is the G2, this base is the y bar, and y2 bar is the distance between center of gravity G2 to this base is the y2 bar. So how to calculate H1 and H2? H1 is the distance between H1 is the distance between G2, G1, and H2 is the distance between G2, G2, okay. So H1 for Ix, moment of inertia about x-axis. So H1 is equal to y1 bar minus y bar. See, H1, this is the H1 is equal to y1 bar minus y bar, okay. And H2 is equal to this distance y bar, this is the total y bar minus y2 bar, then we get H2, okay. And for Iyy, H1 and H2 is 0, okay. So first of all, we have to calculate moment of inertia about x axis by applying parallel axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem, Ig plus AH square. Ixx is equal to Ig plus AH square. This is the formula for section number 1 and this is the formula for section number 2, okay. So Ixx is equal to for Ig1 plus A1 H1 square plus Ig2 plus A2 H2 square. Ixx is equal to, first we take x value, so BD cube by 12 plus A1 H1 square plus BD cube by 12 plus A2 H2 square. Put the value of these factors, then Ixx is equal to, put the value of these factors, then Ixx is equal to 18 into 10 to the power 5 mm raised to 4. Here H1 is equal to y1 bar minus y bar, then we get 23.69 value, and H2 is equal to y bar minus y2 bar, put the values, then we get 26.31 mm, okay. Then step third, find moment of inertia about y axis. Iyy is equal to Ig1 plus A1 H1 square plus Ig2 plus A2 H2 square. So Ig1 dB cube by 12. First we take D, then dB cube by 12 for section. Ig2 is the dB cube by 12 for second section. So this is the formula. Then H1 and H2 is the 0. Iyy is equal to, put the value of these factors, then we get Iyy is equal to 8.4 into 10 to the power 5 mm raised to 4, okay. Then Ixx is equal to 18 into 10 to the power 5 mm raised to 4, and Iyy is equal to 8 0.4 into 10 to the power 5 mm raised to 4. So I minimum moment of inertia is equal to I by y 8.4 into 10 to the power 5 mm raised to 4. Then fourth step, in given condition, since both ends are fixed, so how to calculate effective length? Effective length is calculated by formula L effective is equal to L by 2. So L effective is equal to L by 2. Put the value of L, 2000 divided by 2, 1000 mm. Then last step, we have to calculate Euler's load. Euler's load is denoted by P and it is calculated by formula pi square EI minimum divided by L effective square. So what is the value of I minimum? 8.4 into 10 to the power 5 mm raised to 4. So P is equal to, put the value of E, I minimum and L effective, then we get P value. So P is equal to 1658.1 kilonewton. Okay, so this is the first numerical of Euler's load. The next second numerical, a steel rod 5 meter long and 40 mm diameter is used as a column with one end fixed and the other end hinge. Determine the critical load the column can carry by using Euler's formula. Take the value of modulus of elasticity is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. First of all, write given data. Given data, a steel rod 5 meter long. So original length L is equal to 5 meter. Convert in mm, multiply by 10 cube. Then 40 mm diameter. So diameter capital D is equal to 40 mm. One end fixed and other end hinge. So end conditions of column is one end fixed and other end hinge. And Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. Okay, we know that buckling load by Euler's formula is given by P is equal to pi square EI divided by L effective square. Okay, so first find moment of inertia and second find out effective length for given condition. So find I for solid circular section. So what is the formula of moment of inertia for solid circular section? So I is equal to 5 by 64 into d raised to 4. So put the value of d, pi by 64 into 40 raised to 4. The value of d is 40. Pi by 64 into 40 raised to 4, then we get 125,663.7 mm raised to 4. Then second factor, calculate effective length. Given condition, one end fixed and other end hinge. So effective length is calculated by formula L effective is equal to L by root 2. Put the value of L 5 into 10 cube divided by root 2. Then we get this answer. Put the values of LE and I in equation 1. This equation. Then we get Euler's load. So P is equal to pi square into 2 into 10 to the power 5 into 125,663.7 divided by the value of effective length whole square is equal to 19.84 kilonewton. So P is equal to 19.84 kilonewton. Okay, this is the second numerical. Then we will see next third numerical. A hollow steel tube of 200 mm external diameter and 25 mm thick is 4 meter long and used as a column if one end is fixed and the other end is hinged. Find the load the column can carry. Use Euler's formula and factor of safety is the 2. Take modulus of elasticity is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. First of all, write given data. A hollow steel tube of 200 mm external diameter. So capital D is equal to 200 mm and 25 mm thick. So thickness is equal to 25 mm. 4 meter long. So L is equal to 4 meter. Convert mm. Multiply by 10 cube. 4 into 10 cube. Given condition, if one end fixed and other end hinge. So end conditions of column is one end fixed and other end hinge. Find the load by using Euler's formula and factor of safety is 2. Okay. So this is the given data. Calculate internal diameter because given in hollow steel tube section. Hollow steel tube. This is the hollow steel tube. This is the capital D and this is the small d. Okay. So internal diameter small d is equal to capital D minus 2 into T. Capital D minus 2 into this is the thickness. So 2T, 200 minus 2 into 225. Then we get 150 mm and factor of safety is given 2. Since one end is fixed and other end is hinged, then effective length is calculated by formula L by root 2. Put the value of L, then we get effective length is equal to 2828.43 mm. Then find safe load by using Euler's formula. So moment of inertia of hollow circular section is given by. How to calculate moment of inertia for hollow circular section? Moment of inertia for hollow circular section is calculated by formula pi by 64 into capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. So put the value of capital D and small d, then we get I value. Then finally calculate crippling load by Euler's formula is given by formula P is equal to pi square EI divided by L effective square. Then put the value of pi square EI and L effective, then we get P value. P is equal to 13247.28 kilonewton. Then last factor, calculate safe load. Safe load is given by formula Euler's crippling load divided by factor of safety. Put the value of Euler's crippling load and factor of safety is given 2. Then we get safe load is equal to 6623.64 kilonewton. So this is the third numerical. Okay. Thank you.